thinking back to how you were talking about with your grandpa Wolf, carrying a legacy and honoring him forward, you know,
Yeah.
and it's like you do honor people's lives by taking the hardships that have come up and seeing it out in the world. And what I mean by that, and I love hearing you say that because I'm I'm pretty upfront with people. Like, don't ask me how I'm doing unless you seriously want. Like, you see the regret on people's faces sometimes when they ask me, and I'm like, you asked, and I'm a little tempered about it, based on the situation, but man, I had a profound experience actually a couple weeks back at church, and the short version is we walked in late, and so kind of had to shuffle some people around to find a seat, and just based on the body language of the person next to me before my butt was even in the chair, I knew I had to talk to this person. I had to figure out how to tell this person that if they needed to talk, that I would be willing to listen. And it was just off of the only way I can describe it is I saw a ghost of myself. And I just kind of kept an eye on that person throughout the service, and like just it was just confirmed. And finally I found a moment, and I'd written my name and number on a piece of paper. I handed it to them at a time when things were kind of moving around, and I just told them, if you have something on your heart you want to talk about, I'm here for you. And I wasn't expecting anything in response, but this person looked at me and just had the biggest eyes, and was like, yes, I want to have that conversation. And so we stuck around afterwards, probably 20 or 25 minutes, and they just opened up about hardship that they were going through. And it wasn't that they were struggling with alcoholism, like that wasn't the ghost of my past that I had necessarily seen, but it was this inner turmoil. And they opened up that the previous night, like they had dealt with suicidal ideation in the past, but it hadn't come up. And the previous night, that they had such a compelling desire to end things that it scared him into church. And then we crossed paths, and it's those moments that I would have been fearful of in the past, and I would have walked away, or I just would have been like, well, that was weird. It's not my place to interject, or it's not my problem. Um, and that's changed. There's been a change within me. You can't solve everyone's issues, and you can't force somebody into a conversation or into healing. Like, I will never call anybody an alcoholic. I can only assess
Yeah.
me and my situation, but I can share my experience and I can listen to people. So those I don't know. I think that's a huge push for doing this work, is I want to maybe set an example for how to have some of these conversations, and to show people, like, you're going to be challenged in ways that you never expected. Look at your life and all of the things that you've gone through, and you've changed and you've succeeded at, and you've made it through hardships. But it seems like some of the most challenging times were the most unexpected ones. And there's a level of preparation to it, right? But also have to be ready to live in it.
Yeah. It's tough, and you don't know what those conversations are gonna bring, and so you just the biggest mindset shift is just being aware that as much as we have respectively needed those to happen, unfortunately, we got the help that we needed in time, that we can potentially be those for those other people, and more often than not, those conversations will put those feelers out there and they won't need it, and hopefully they won't, right? But, if you just get one of those right, the butterfly effect from that type of conversation is
Yeah.
literally life changing.
Yeah, exactly. And oftentimes you won't even know. the the
The impact.
breadth of your impact. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.